We've got a solution to the obesity problem. Apparently everyone's fat. Everyone's getting too fat. Kids, adults, everyone. The solution is, if we didn't know about the junk food that we're eating, it wouldn't make us fat because we wouldn't eat it. So, solution from the government, they're going to ban all junk food adverts online completely and on our television screens before the 9 p.m. watershed. And of course, as we know, every child then goes to sleep. So is that going to solve the obesity epidemic we're told about all the time? Let's ask Chris Snowdown. He's the head of lifestyle economics at the Institute of Economic Affairs. Chris, obesity, it's a problem. This is going to solve it. Sorted. I'm sure you agree with it, yeah?
No, I think there's almost no chance this will have any effect whatsoever on obesity rates. I mean, a couple of things to say about this. Firstly, that although the media like the phrase junk food, this is not what's actually been banned on TV and online. It is, well, we'll see actually this afternoon. The government is going to finally publish its list of what it calls less healthy food. But I bet most of the items on there are not what most people would consider to be junk, and a lot of people would consider them to be quite normal. And
well, it's like those adverts on the tube, and people who don't live in London were aware of this. These adverts that were banned on the tube by Sadiq Khan about unhealthy food, but it includes things like, you know, strawberries and cream at Wimbledon, butter, things like that. I mean, stuff that by definition has to have fat in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be normal, everyday food as far as a lot of people are concerned. Cheese, indeed, cheese, bacon, butter, all sorts of things. I mean, undeniably, these things are high in fat, you know. So that's the first thing, that people have been sold a pig in the poke about this. Even now, the government is talking about junk food advertising. It's not a legal term. It's not a meaningful term. Second thing is this has never been tried anywhere in the world. So we're really in uncharted territory. Even countries which we might consider to be big nanny states, you know, Scandinavian countries, Australia, New Zealand, they're not even considering something like this. There is no country that's gone anywhere near this far. So Britain really is, you know, heading to be one of the worst nanny states in the world. And because it hasn't been tried anywhere, we've got no idea what the consequences are going to be. The government's impact assessment claims that the combined effect of the online ban and the watershed TV ban is going to mean people on average consuming 3 fewer calories a day. A grown adult male needs 2,500 calories a day.
By the way, a grown adult male doesn't need 2,500 calories a day. I can assure you, male or female, definitely nothing like that. But this is the thing. There's the idea that we're going to see this massive change. And we've seen that with, you know, all the different nanny state policies in terms of, you know, alcohol minimum pricing, advert bans, packaging changes, moving them around in supermarkets. Doesn't seem to make any difference. One thing that did make a bit of a difference was actually basically measures that kind of persuaded manufacturers to adjust the sugar content in some of their foods. But yeah, I don't want there to be a load of sugar in a cereal. What I mostly want, though, is to know if there's a load of sugar in the cereal so I can choose not to buy it. But I expect there to be a hell of a lot of sugar and fat in a chocolate bar, otherwise it won't be very nice. That's the reason why I'm buying it. But is this all predicated on the idea that it's only really the government's idea of junk food, and you know what they mean. They mean KFC and McDonalds and, frankly, all the great stuff. They think that that's what everyone is having, and that's why people are overweight. And they think that if we don't see the adverts and the children don't see them before 9 o'clock on telly or on the internet at all, that we simply won't want it anymore.
Yeah, basically, it's a very simplistic way of viewing consumer behaviour. You know, fish and chips and kebabs are almost never advertised, certainly not on TV. Oh. Yet, yeah, look at your face. You're just
I know, seriously, I'm in heaven. I mean, no, my local kebab shop, genuinely, it was converted to an artisan bakery. If that isn't a sign of the decline of North London, I don't know what is.
You know, people know what food is out there and they know what they like, and it's quite hard to make people change what they eat.
But there's also the other side of this is how on earth? I mean, look, we had cigarette adverts taken away, and I'm not got an issue with that. You know, they're trying to ban. They've done alcohol bans. Alcohol adverts are very limited as well. And then now they're getting in a tiz about gambling companies, because that's what people were using as advertising, because they weren't allowed the other ones. If you get rid of junk food advertising as well, I mean, there aren't going to be many companies left who can afford to advertise on telly and the internet. How on earth are all these programmes going to get funded?
Well, that's obviously the big problem with this, and the government just doesn't seem to care about broadcasters. You know, live television is really struggling. Terrestrial television, commercial television, they've had a terrible time for many, many years, and this is just going to make it worse. It's going to be hundreds of millions of pounds taken out from television. Presumably it's going to be redirected towards billboards and magazines and so on. But you've got groups like the British Medical Association already campaigning for that type of advertising to be banned. So you'll see the same with cigarette advertising. It gets banned on TV first and banned everywhere else next. There's a very clear blueprint here for anybody who has eyes to see it. This is a slippery slope in full effect, and it is affecting all sorts of different activities that these Puritans don't like.
Yeah. Oh, and they're going to end up doing it to meat products, our booze. They're coming for everything. You know me, I was quite nanny state until I met you, and then you kind of persuaded me they were going to come for all my stuff as well as yours. And they are. Chris Snowdown, always good to talk to you from the Institute of Economic Affairs. Tom Slater, Spiked Online, still with me. And this is the thing, isn't it? They just can't stop. There's no evidence that any of these things make any difference.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just a moral crusade. They don't like
it's
that
a
there
waggy
are people
finger, isn't it?
Out there, they find them not only unhealthy but kind of unsophisticated, which is why junk food, it purely just means food that middle class people tend to think.
Well, no, again, it's that classic that if you have a sourdough pizza from your local place in North London, then it's okay. But if you order a Domino's or something,
then
can I say, how hungry are you right now in this conversation about burgers and kebabs and pizza? I want to eat every single one of them. What can I say? Ian Collins is here. Now, your body is a temple, young man.
It is a temple. I'm very lucky.
Do you eat all this stuff? And will you not? If you didn't see an advert from Mucky D's, would you never want one again?
You know, the funny thing is, Colonel Sanders to me is a prophet, and I worship at the altar of the chicken parlour of Southern American joy. It is. I think it should be in schools. I think it should be sold in playgrounds.
Do you know, I saw the most brilliant thing online yesterday. It was absolutely superb. There was some vegan arguing with somebody about how, you know, you should never. How can you eat chickens? How can you eat KFC? How can you eat chickens? That's terrible. You know, that their family. You know. Yeah. And genuinely, some guy replied, "That's why I always order a family bucket. No man left behind."
Love it. The funny thing is, every now and again you meet somebody and they'll say, "I remember working with a girl at Talk Sport, I think. I've never tried it. I've never had a KFC." It's like, what is wrong with you?
I know. What's your okay, guys? Very quickly, what is your go-to takeaway?
KFC.
KFC? Oh. I'm McDonald's.
I can only think about KFC now. I'm going to go KFC.
I mean, feel free to sponsor us. You're very welcome.
I've been trying for years from the chicken parlour.
Seriously, you won't find a better advert. £25 of a cheese. Thank you very much.